Blog Talk Radio.
You're quite hostile.
I got a right to be hostile, man. My people been persecuted.
Revolution is not the best in the process.
I want the truth.
We have to dare to be different and dare to tell the truth.
We don't see the fire, but the house is burning.
Look up a book and feed your mind.
Took over.
How are the people saying? You are a deceived people. Nobody else can do this for us.
Take that white Jesus down.
Something is wrong.
Do the research like we do the research. You'll be convinced also.
Turn off Fake Housewives of Atlanta.
Continue to raise the intellect and the consciousness of the human family.
Professor Griff knows.
So I ain't no coach.
One, two, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. The exact generation to say to the R, to the E, to the B, the E, the L. All right, this is NMEMINDZ Radio on the Minds Matter Blog Talk Radio Network, where matters of the mind matter. Greetings, family.
What is that?
I think people that sing, especially in the opera, clear that throat.
Oh, that was
like
mama. No, that was like a hardcore,
like I smoke cigarettes, kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's sad. Mm-hmm. Greetings, family, peace, hotep, shalom, assalamu alaikum, Abibia Fodie, on Lafayette, Black Power, what's poppin', what it do, what's good, good evening, and welcome to another edition of NMEMINDZ Radio. And as my good sister Pam Africa says, we definitely on the move. This is NMEMINDZ Radio with your host, Professor Griff, and Miss ZaZa Ali.
Peace. Peace to the gods and goddesses. Peace to the RBGs. Peace to the Pan-African family. Peace to the Rastafari. Peace to the Black nationalists. Peace to the Moors. Peace to the Hebrew Israelites. Peace to the Native Americans. And peace to the Native American, the original family. Did I say that twice?
Twice. Maybe you know something I don't know.
No, because of my ancestors dealing with the Native Americans. Peace to the Hebrew Israelites, peace to the Native Americans, and peace to the original family covering every 196,940,000 square miles of the planet Earth.
All right, this is the show where minds produce minds that produce minds that produce great minds because minds matter. We are souls in search of souls that are like minds, like minds. This show and every show is dedicated to all those that are dedicated as taught to us and given to us by our good brother, Dr. Reverend Phil Valentine.
That's right, and we were also taught by Sister Amy Garvey to stand on our own 2 feet and fight like hell for our place in this world.
And we're definitely standing on the verge of getting it on to bring about a revolution, all right? A revolution of the mind, that is, because minds matter. Revolution is complete, constructive, conscious, cosmic change. You could be whatever you want to be in this world's life. I ask you like.
Won't you just insert me?
I will. Hold on.
Come on, bruh.
Nope. Open up the space. ZaZa Ali. Hold up. ZaZa.
You know you type like a...
Say, I swear to God, we have a snapping session right now. ZaZa Ali. Let me see. Revolution is reconstructive, conscious, cosmic change. What would ZaZa say? Revolution is what? I'm going to take care of this right now. Revolution is what?
Revolution is mental change. Revolution is... No, I don't want to say that.
Revolution is when it's women that give birth to men?
Absolutely.
All right. Zaza would say at this point, insert Zaza, revolution is when women give birth to men. You can be whatever you want to be in this world, like on your way to becoming gods and goddesses, having a human experience called you, as taught to us by Professor James Small.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And as we were taught by the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, that to find God we must look within. Heaven and hell is a state of mind, not an actual physical place. Hopefully we broke that down in those 3 shows that we did about the God frequency. We build minds and hurl truth at falsehood, destroying and rebuilding.
Once again, this is NMEMINDZ Radio on the Minds Matter Blog Talk Radio Network, in case you're on the wrong show at the wrong time. All right, this is Professor Griff, and this is ZaZa Ali. The call-in number is 347-633-9644. Make sure you're on the right show at the right place. All right, because maybe you
might be calling in and listening to some suckers.
Thank you. So, yeah. This is the Minds. Yeah, you
straight. Yeah.
Minds Matter, Blog Talk Radio Network, where matters of the mind matter. Our aim and our mission
is to raise the vibrational pitch of our thinking into the mind of the Creator, as taught to us by Tainetta Muhammad. And I'm looking forward to being able to honor Sister Tainetta Muhammad when we do the Divine Goddess principle in May in Atlanta. Definitely looking forward to paying homage to one of our great teachers.
Oh, give thanks. And also, we are here to raise the conscious level of human family and replace racism, white supremacy with justice so that we can live in peace on this planet that we affectionately call Earth.
The call-in number is 347-633-9644. And, of course, this is a hot topic. We can never talk about it enough. We can never break it down and expound on it enough. So if you want to get on the conversation, please do not wait until 9:15 to push 1. Push 1 so you can be in the call queue so we can make sure that we get to you, because the call lines are going to be packed.
All right. So in the spirit of our ancestors, whom shoulders we stand on, we simply like to say Ashe. And Ashe simply means so be it. I want to call on the spirit and the ancestral voices. All those ancestral voices, be they individuals or collectively combined. I'm not being redundant. Collectively combined to bring about a certain spirit, a spirit of revolution, a spirit of wholeness, a spirit of completeness, a spirit of well-being, but mainly a spirit of cooperativeness, as Amos Wilson so eloquently puts it. So we want to call on all those ancestral voices. And I would say we will never allow anyone to silence the ancestral voice. When deeds speak words, when deeds speak, words are meaningless. I'm going to say that again. When the deeds speak, words are meaningless. This goes twofold for the negative and the positive. He who is ruled by his appetites belong
to the enemy.
To the enemy.
That's right.
I'm going to say that again. He who is ruled by his appetites, be it in your verbiage, be it in your thinking of how to, thinking in your way to getting there, because it's not necessarily the end justifies the means. We have to be very careful with everything we do along the way. He who is ruled by his appetites belong to the enemy. Ptah Hotep.
Ptah Hotep, the God.
Ashe.
Ashe. I don't have one particular person, but I am reading from Blacked Out Through Whitewash.
Yes. I did the ancestral voices, all of them.
Yes. By Dr. Suzar. This is definitely, like, you have to have this book, especially if you're a history buff like me. But the mound builders who were of the indigenous American, wasn't called America, but this land, the Washita Empire. And I'm just going to read part of this. It says, though so many have been deliberately destroyed, over 200,000 ancient pyramids and huge mounds of earth in the shape of cones, animals, and geometric designs can still be found from the southern coast of America to Canada. These structures were built by a so-called obscure people, largely known as the mound builders. The truth about the mound builders is suppressed. Why? Because they were an advanced civilization of dark-skinned, woolly-haired blacks who were indigenous or native to North America, kin to the Olmecs of South America. At one time, the African and American continents were joined, as proven by their similarly similarity of tropical plants and animals, geographic traits, and their appearance of fitting together. The black mound builders were the Washita Moors, or the Ouachita, I hope I'm saying that right, Moors, the original inhabitants of North and South America. Many blacks in North America are unknowing descendants of these mound-building indigenous blacks and not descendants of black African slaves. And there was a sister. The United Nations recognized Sister. Please hope I say this right. Verdiasi Tiari Washita Turner Gostin El Bay. They recognized this sister as the Empress of the Washita, and they also recognized these black indigenous people as natives to this land. So in their honor, in their memory, and in their name, we say Ashe.
Ashe. So in the spirit of all those soldiers that have fought, bled, and died for the freedom and liberation struggle of our people here in the wilderness of North America and throughout the black African diaspora, 3 times we say Ashe, 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 Asheo.
Asheo.
For contact information, you could hit me, Professor Griff. You could tweet me at RealProfGriff. My email address is ProfessorGriffPE@gmail.com. If you're hanging around and you're left-handed, still playing armchair revolutionary, there's a lot of right-handed people out there. Got the hand, one in the popcorn, one on the beer can, one on your L, your joint, your weed. You still playing armchair revolutionary with your left hand. You can text me at 678-557-2919. Thank you.
And I got a message on the Enemy Minds page. I need to respond to it, but the brother is looking for ZaZa Ali's Facebook page. He's been looking everywhere for it. Facebook suspended my page, so I'm trying to work it out. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to work it out. If I don't get it back up by the time the book is out in print, then I'm just going to create a like page. I don't want to do that because I want to be able to communicate with everybody. When you have a like page, it's just the like page. You can't maneuver. So we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, you can hit me up on Facebook at NMEMINDZ Radio. I do check the messages. I do respond to the messages. I do monitor the page. Also, you can... What?
I was about to say, there is a place temporarily where you can communicate with people.
What is that?
BragZ.com.
Okay.
So you could create a page. Well, we already created a page.
Okay.
NMEMINDZ Radio.
Okay.
They can go to if they want to reach you and talk to you and communicate with you, they can go to www.bragze.com and just look up Enemy Minds.
I'm going to have to do the knowledge to that.
Okay. Well, that's my man, Arcus' son.
I do know.
Okay.
Shout out to that brother. We are also on Twitter at Enemy Minds Radio. If you want to email us about upcoming events, lectures, DVDs, etc., different information, you can send an email. It's also the same email address if you want to send a donation through PayPal. The email address is mindzmatterbtrs@gmail.com. That's mindzmatterbtrs@gmail.com.
All right. Shout out to Kanita Lindsay. I've been jacking that woman's name up ever since I knew it. Shakir the General, Jamal, my man, Minister Paul Scott. Thanks for the information, Minister Paul Scott. Really appreciate you, good brother. Society from Society Productions, Khalid El Akeem. Sorry, the couch was so hard, bro.
Stop.
Man, we got him out of the weather. You understand what I'm saying? He was sitting at Starbucks at the airport. Like, bruh, you don't have to do that. Come on over. Black Dot, my man King Simon. You talked to King Simon? You straighten that out?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Peace out to King Simon. My man Darren Muhammad from the State of the City. Siddiqui Bakari, Matty Matt, J. Wu, B-Son. B-Son, I read your message, man. Thanks for being one of those brothers on the front line. I'm not saying that we might not have to get physical, but you understand what I'm saying? If it come to that, I know you got my back, B-Son and John Trey and some of them silent warriors out there. I know who y'all are. Shh, don't tell nobody, though. Peace out to my man, Brother Rich. So, Brother Rich.
Somebody just in the chat room said, is the Tariq situation going to be addressed tonight? Heathen Deluxe.
We're going to have to address that.
Well, I'm going to address that later on our Enemy Minds page. I'm going to do that, but we can still address it now.
Okay, let's just address it now so we can get it out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
I think from the outstart, I think I need to say I have a high level of respect for the Tariq Najee. Somebody put under the clip that he's a fan of Tariq Najee. And I told this brother, I'm not a fan of Tariq Najee. It's deeper than that. That's my brother. Mm-hmm. And if we as men can't sharpen one another, you understand what I'm saying? And offer some kind of corrective criticism in a brotherly, lovingly kind of way, then what the hell are we doing this for, man? We ain't sensitive-ass wimps. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Sharpen me. Tariq Najee knows my phone number. I left my phone number up under the clip so the brother can call me directly. Mm-hmm. I've gotten messages from other people to call, for you and I to call into the show, and I'm asking why and for what. I'm saying this conversation is not new. The conversation is rather old in reference to the whole idea of him putting out the macking lessons and the whole atmosphere surrounding black women and just women in general in reference to the whole macking, pimping thing. Mm-hmm. I just think, personally speaking, when it comes to putting out the body of work that he did, and please, if anyone would ask me, I would put Hidden Colors up there with one of those kind of, one of those great works that needed to be done and was done by that brother at the time it needed to be done. Is it the greatest? Well, that depends on what lens you're viewing it through. It came at a time where our people needed that particular tool to use that tool to go back in the hood and go get our people. They could say the same thing about my work and Chuck's work and Flavor's work and S1W's and what we did with DJ Lord, Terminator X, and whoever.
Yeah,
our work,
in a different way.
Right, in a different way. Mm-hmm. Would I ever wear that on my sleeve and say that's the greatest hip-hop group ever, blah, blah, blah? No, I would not say that. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? We did the work that we needed to do at that particular time. Let's address the issue, though. ZaZa didn't bring that issue up, Tariq, if you're listening. I would like for you to call me because I'm not going to air. This is no beef. I'm not coming at you. And those that are listening, I'm not coming at the brother. Me and the brother are mature men. You understand? And we can talk. I'd rather have this conversation between him and I. But since he made reference to ZaZa on his show, we're just going to address it so the family can know. And this is not any beef, like he said. He has a great respect for me, and I have a great respect for him. But it wasn't ZaZa that brought it up in the interview with Rich. I was the one that brought it up because early on that day, you showed me the memes, right?
That somebody sent me.
That somebody sent you.
Yeah.
Right. And I just thought it could have been, I understand where he was going and what he was doing. I wouldn't to make my point, I wouldn't necessarily go to that degree, because if I'm going to bring people, which I often do, bring people from the hood into consciousness, I'm not going to go all the way in the hood. I think I gave you the example yesterday. I said a lot of times I got to go talk to the brothers on the corner. I'm not going to spend 4 hours on the corner smoking weed with them, though, to get them to go watch a DVD or bring them into consciousness. I'm not going that far. I don't necessarily have to bring the Holy Quran, Bible, the Pyramid text, Coffin text, and the Supreme Wisdom in the strip club to go get the sister. Right. I'm not going there. So I'm thinking when I just visually now, because a picture's worth 1,000 words and signs and symbols are worth 1,000 pictures. By just looking at it, I understand his logic. If brothers like looking at, booty and all that other kind of stuff, he's going where the brothers are to go get the brothers. But if we're bringing them over to Hidden Colors 1, 2, 3, and now 4, and we're bringing them from looking at booty on into consciousness, then I think we have to make the medicine in Hidden Colors that powerful and more powerful as an attractive element to bring them from one extreme to the next. So now the question becomes, have many brothers in the hood, have their consciousness level have been raised via Hidden Colors? Yes, it has. Yes, it has. Have many people teetering between consciousness and being out in the streets? Yes, it has. Has some of those brothers that have watched Hidden Colors 1, 2, 3, and 4 still in the strip club? Yes, they are. Do you understand what I'm saying? But we're not necessarily talking about those brothers in this case. We're talking about the sisters, especially black women that have been beaten down in the muck and mire of this civilization by men. By men. So I'm thinking it was borderline ingenious what he did, but borderline tasteless. simply because we could use other means and methods to go after our people. He chose that one. Do your thing, brother. That's the tactic that he used. Some people say they don't appreciate some of the things I say and do in coming up in Public Enemy. Some idiot mentioned some groupies. And I said, well, how would you know about groupies unless your mother was a groupie? So, it got that critical. I had to tell two brothers, and this is one of my bottom lines. One of my bottom lines is this, that if anyone attempt to come mac and pimp my daughters, off with your head, plain and simple. End of the damn story. If you attempt and approach my family and my daughters, I don't care if it's girlfriend, wife, whoever, and you come in that spirit, in that vein, then I'm going to have to deal with you accordingly, plain and simple. So we're not going to put this on Rich, on UndergroundRailroadNet.com. We're supposed to move people out of their comfort zone, and I'm sure Tariq Najee understand that. It was no attack on him, as some people under the YouTube clip are saying. I don't have to do anything childish like that. Neither does Zaza. We're not attacking the brother. We're pointing out an obvious truth, and by his own admission, he's the one that set the MAC lessons in motion. Now, I want to ask some of these brothers, have you even read the MAC lesson? Have you read what the brother put in the books and what he does to go out to use that to teach young brothers valuable lessons in reference to manhood? Last thing, I told one of the brothers, when the macking and the pimping start, we're going to start with your daughter and your mama. See, when it gets that real and that personal, that up close, see, we back away from the macking and the pimping thing, because when you think of somebody pimping and macking your daughter, then it becomes an issue. Someone wrote that Tariq Najee is known for his jokes and his humor and his whatever. But, bruh, I just want to say, from man to man, from me to you, you understand that we've had several conversations. I've been on his show twice. I really don't think something like that was funny. Would we put our daughters, Tariq Najee, in those pictures? But he says no one put a gun to those women's heads. See, but that's always the argument. I'm saying, yes, they have put a gun to black women's heads to make them pose like that. Racism, white supremacy have put a gun to their head. And until we combat that and deal and battle with the real demon and devil in this situation, we'll always come at one another. All right? And other people fanning the flames, this tension between Zaza and Tariq Najee. There's no tension. There's just certain things that have to be said on both sides by mature adults. Let's do this here. Let's stop right here and pause for a moment, and let's just ask our daughters and sons, Tariq Najee, you and I. Let's start with our mom and our grandmothers. Is that a cool thing to do? Let's show that mem to them, and we'll get the answer. Let's show the Marimba Ani and Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Exactly. Let's show the elders and see if that mem is cool. Let's go to the prisons and go to the places where women have been molested, sexually abused. The whole idea of the conversation was about sex trafficking, strippers, and prostitution. Right. You understand what I'm saying? And Zaza will read you the statistics. So that's just my take on it. I love Tariq Najee to life as a brother, and I don't mind him calling me if he heard something on this show that I need to be checked on. My phone number is 678-557-2919. Last thing, some of you imps, stop fanning the flames, man. You sound like, anyway, groupies. You know what I'm talking, excuse me? Groupies. Yeah, little groupies. And hoes. Thank you. So, which fits right into the whole macking concept. Exactly. So maybe they are in the right arena. Right. But what's funny to me, first of all, let me say this. I grew up in the city of Macs, in the city of pimps, in the city of players, in the city of hustlers. And I can tell you right now that the real Macs ain't saying that they Macs. But that's another show. That's another subject for another time. The irony to me, after listening to what he said, I've honestly, after Hidden Colors 2, after I found out about his other persona outside of Hidden Colors, I still watched Hidden Colors, but I wasn't promoting it like I was before, because to me, it's mixing truth with falsehood. I've still referred people to Hidden Colors as a source of, a starting point, or, if you want to you want to tap into something higher within yourself, you want to do a historical, whatever.
watch Hidden Colors. Go get the DVD.
Mm-hmm.
I had a teacher call me and ask me, what's up with this guy, Tariq Nasheed?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, what do you want to know? Well, I Googled his name.
Right.
And when she Googled his name, she was completely turned off. Now, this is not, how he mocked the conscious people with the dashiki and the whole, conscious community thinking they holier than thou, that whole thing. No, this is a regular sister who's trying to enlighten herself, thinking about starting a Afrocentric school out of her home, who hit me up like, nah, this ain't cool. She's not the only one.
No. She's not some brothers.
I've had a lot of sisters over the past 2, maybe 3 years send me like this meme that was sent to me. I'm not on Instagram. I don't do Instagram.
Right.
Somebody sent it to me. So just to let the people know, all of the people who have something to say contrary to what I said, this is not a new conversation. Right. This is something that has been talked about, whether it's below a whisper or in back rooms or whatever.
Right.
People have been talking about this for a long time.
Right.
I'm just the one who said it. So thank you very much to the people who have sent me messages and addressed it and said, thank you for saying it. Somebody needed to say it.
Right.
Now,
but I'm guilty.
But guilty of what?
I'm guilty of having the conversation with men because men brought it to me about this brother. Mm-hmm. And I sent a message to him via Marcus, Brother Marcus at Nubian Bookstore. Mm-hmm. Tell Tariq Najee I need to talk to him because there's some brothers about to get at him on a physical tip and address that whole situation with the Mac pimping Hidden Colors thing.
Okay.
Never heard a word back.
So for me, for him, like obviously, and let me start off by saying I respect the whole Hidden Colors thing. Mm-hmm. He made a comment about me trying to make my bones, if you will, off of discussing him.
Right.
And that's not the words he used, but I can't remember exactly what it was. If that was the case, I would have been talking about it when I first learned of that whole macking element of who he is. I would have started talking about it then. I just said nothing about it because I saw the bigger picture, the benefit of what he was doing with Hidden Colors. It's like he's one of many that's disrespecting black women. So what, why I settle on the best part, like Elijah Muhammad said. Right. So this whole idea that I could be mentioning his name to possibly get on is absurd because you're known in the conscious community, but you're not Denzel Washington. Why do I need to mention you to make myself? First of all, let me back up. Because he mentioned that I had unfound anger.
Something outrage you is fake outrage.
Fake outrage. Right. Okay.
Fake outrage.
Your name, I didn't even bring you up. Griff brought you up. And it reminded me about the picture which brought the subject up. But I talked about you for maybe 15 seconds in the context of an hour plus interview. Now, you being a scholar that I respected as a scholar, instead of listening to the entire interview for context, you go to directly, I guess somebody contacted him and told him we spoke about him. So you went directly to the part where we mentioned your name, maybe 15 seconds, and played that on your show and didn't mention anything else on the interview. The fact that we talked about sex trafficking, the fact that we talked about prostitution, the fact that we talked about 170,000 black children going missing, not being found. All of the important aspects, how Hollywood is being used to over-sexualize the black woman, trying to edify and uplift these sisters who are out here selling their bodies or who feel like they don't have any other way. Mm-hmm. We talked about a lot of things in that conversation.
Right.
For you, sitting on your high horse to make the conversation only about you is not only selfish but extremely reckless. Because you could have used that moment. You already have your reputation precedes you for being anti-female, and I know you know that. You could have used that moment to show that, yes, I do understand. I do get it. Now, to the original picture, okay, it was a joke. It's not funny.
Yeah, it's not funny.
The shit is not funny.
No, not.
To you, to all of the minions who came on the YouTube video, to the people who came on our NMEMINDZ Radio page, brother, a young brother, I'm not going to mention his name, sent me a message. It's not funny.
Right.
That's like me putting up a meme talking about two young brothers who are just as dysfunctional and sick in their minds killing each other in the street, making a joke about it. It's not funny. I don't care about the context.
Right.
I don't care about what else he put up. I don't care.
Right.
And let me say, before you try to minimize me as an angry black woman or a feminist, no, that's not me. Because I have a 11-year-old son. Mm. So I am just as much an advocate for the rights of black boys and black men as I am black women. I don't do feminism. I understand the context of how it was used to play us against our men. So stop trying to put me in that corner.
Right.
I don't support homosexuality, lesbian, and none of that. I'm not with any of that. I'm for the edification of our people. But this whole, well, you know, when we talked about it, it goes right back to that whole bros before hoes mentality that I've seen my whole entire life. Right. So you want to sit back and high five young brothers when they out here being players and being max and, oh, they want to see ass, I'm going to show them some ass. They want to twerk, I'm going to let them twerk. But then in the next breath, you want to complain about the statistics on abortion. You want to put all of the blame on the woman because we got young brothers that's out here that's over-sexualized. I know brothers who got tossed up and turned out at a young age because some pimp-type, Mac-type clown in the hood had them get turned out at an early age, and now they can't turn it off. A la Lil Wayne and Chris Brown.
Right.
See, that's the topics that's not being talked about, the over-sexualization of black boys and black men.
Right.
Why is it a problem to hold black men to a higher standard? Why is it a problem to pull a young brother to the side and say, man, that ain't cool, don't do that. That's your sister. She may be out of pocket, but don't do that.
Right.
Don't be a part of that. See, it becomes a problem when we start trying to hold these brothers accountable. Men get a pass to be, in the strip club. That's just a part of a man's nature. You in a 7-Eleven trying to figure out if you're going to spend your last $10 on Blacktail magazine or gas for your car. This is how foolish some of our brothers are. So, yeah, I said it. I meant every word, and I'm going to write a post about it on Facebook just to get everything that I need to say about it out because I hear these brothers complain about feminists a lot, but you are fueling feminists with that type of behavior. You giving them something to talk about because you disrespecting our women. Yes, they disrespect themselves. Does that give you the right to add to it? Aren't you supposed to be a real man? Manhood, you got children? You got a woman, and you think that's cool to put that on your page? Show that to Frances Cress Wilson and let me hear what she got to say about it. Put that in front of her. Right. Next time you have her speak on Hidden Colors. And the last thing I'm going to say about it is the irony that you're making a new film about racism, white supremacy, and here it is, you are displaying behavior that is lending to the system of racism, white supremacy. No society, no civilization will ever be respected around the world if they disrespect their women. Nobody around the world will ever respect us as a people if you display and disrespect our women like that.
Right.
So Tariq Najee can be an island, and he can be doing well, and we can applaud him for Hidden Colors and all of that. But what about the community? What about the communal element of who we are as a people? The righteous aspect of who we are as a people, looking out for one another. The same way I look out for young brothers on the block that's disrespecting themselves and selling drugs, and I still got love and empathy for them, and I'm not going to exploit them. Stop doing that shit to our women. Period.
Okay. I think that situation, we all of us that want to move our people forward, do not fan the flames. Let Tariq Najee call me or text me his number. I'll call him, and we will talk, me, him, and Zaza, as responsible, mature adult, two men, and Zaza as a woman. I have daughters. I can't position myself to the point where I'm doing stuff like that because I have to look out not only for my daughters, but I have to look out for Tariq Najee's daughters, Nasheed's daughters.
And I'm looking out for his daughters.
Exactly, and I got to ride for them like I ride for my own, and I know that he know that. All of the men and women that really know me for who I am as a man, you know you can call me in the middle of the night. I'm getting out of my bed locked and loaded, and you know that. And I'm riding for your daughters like I'm riding for mine. But don't let me find you doing madness like that and you think you're not going to get checked. Now, see, the whole idea, I think it bothers us men when we feel that we have to get checked. Just the terminology.
Yeah.
Somebody have to check us.
I'm glad you said that, too.
A pimp checked me one time.
Right.
And he said, listen, man, you don't need to be talking like that. You don't need to be doing that. That ain't for you, young blood. Young blood. This is how he was talking to me.
Right.
And that was my lesson when I was a teenager.
But you've checked me. My son has checked me before. Checked. Like really made me look in the mirror and look at myself.
Right.
Now, here it is. You have a whole entire documentary series that is popping, that's beautiful, with elders that have been doing this since before you was born, and you think you can't get checked? And when I say checked, I'm not talking about the way a pimp check a hoe. Maybe that's what he was thinking. No, bruh. Elevate your mind a little bit. I'm talking about sitting at the feet of the elders, the Phil Valentines and the Francis Cress Welsings, and letting them assess what you're doing and say, I was just playing. No, you don't play like that.
Right.
That's what I was talking about.
Right. I put it to my brothers in the hood. And no. Even though they play that hard role, they still love mama.
Yeah.
You understand? They have daughters and they're not going for that. And just the bottom line, it's just not funny. So let's do this here. Let's find a different way to promote Hidden Colors, Warriors Conference, all this things that we're doing to elevate the conscious level of our people.
Right.
I rarely see.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I rarely see the elders that we're supposed to be following and patterning ourselves after use those kind of tactics. But listen, maybe that's their time and this is our time. Whatever we have to do to go in the hood to get our people, we have to do it.
Yeah.
And I understand his tactic. I'm just saying we have to elevate that. We have to raise the vibrational pitch of our thinking into the mind of the Creator.
Sister Shelley said, well, I'm sure will be a video about Zaza in a minute. That's cool. I don't mind you doing videos about me. Just raise the level of the conversation.
Right. When
you finish talking about me, talk about something real. Talk about something that's relative to our people.
Well,
I don't like. I know people probably have a certain perception of me, but the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing is for our people. Period. I don't get into all of this whole, I'm new to this game and I'm 36 years old, bruh. I was born in hell.
Right.
I've been fighting for 36 years. So don't try to minimize me because you don't know who I am.
Right.
I am. That's all you need to know.
Right, exactly. You are.
If nobody knew who I was, I still got a right to be respected as a black woman.
Can we address that for a minute? I just want the people to know, and I've said this to you, I would rather, brothers, all right, that you deal with what Zaza is saying and Zaza as a woman. Don't keep prefacing it with, I think that's Professor Griff's woman.
Exactly.
I think that's Professor Griff's significant other.
Same thing Polite did on the interview with Sonetter, and I'm just going to let it be known I had already talked to Polite. He knew that me and you weren't married.
Right. So
for him to come on the show and address me as Professor Griff's wife,
right.
You know my name.
Exactly. Me and Zaza are not married. Deal with Zaza. Don't
try to minimize me.
Right. I'd rather you brothers, I don't know. We having dialogue.
But see, the issue is, and I'm just going to keep it 100.
Mm-hmm.
I've said it before. A lot of these brothers, and I'm not putting this on any of them in particular, but this is, this, you can bear witness because you see what I have to deal with.
Exactly.
A lot of these brothers will rather submit to a well-made lie than submit to the truth coming from a woman.
You got to say that again.
A lot of these brothers will rather submit to a well-made or well-dressed lie than submit to the truth coming from the woman. There's nothing, no revolution, no liberation, no edification, none of this is going to happen without our women.
Exactly. So, brothers, even if Zaza was my woman, I would still step back and let Zaza do what Zaza needs and wants to do and has been given the gift to do. Who am I to regulate? And y'all brothers got it twisted.
Put your little cat on a leash.
That's
the whole idea.
The underlying theme of that is, and excuse my language, put the babies away for a minute. Hold up. cover
check
the ears, check your hoe. That's what they're basically saying.
That's that macking, pimping.
Exactly. Check your bitch. This is what brothers are saying to me, and she's not mine like that, bro. Y'all got it twisted.
So-called conscious men.
Exactly. So
that you calling Griff about what ZaZa said.
Call ZaZa. I mean, I know you called me to speak to her.
But was it truth or not?
That's what it is. We need to deal with that. You understand what I'm saying?
That's the start of the conversation. Was it truth or not? Well, what's the problem? Because she said and she's a woman and it wasn't a man. If a man would have said it, it wouldn't even been an issue.
It wouldn't have been an issue.
It's a problem because I said it because I'm a woman. But y'all just going to have to deal with it. Period, point blank, because I'm here. I'm not going nowhere. I'm doing what I was born to do. This is by the will of the Creator that I am here right now speaking speaking for a generation of young sisters that do not have a voice. I don't give a damn if they hoeing, prostituting, twerking, putting up booty shots. Those are my sisters, and I'm speaking for them. And if you a man or a woman and you disrespecting our sisters, especially the young sisters, somebody's got to say it. I know everybody want to be all lovey-dovey, don't fight amongst each other. Somebody has to say it. Right. I'm sorry, it just had to be me. It's disrespectful. Stop. And if you want to do you and continue on that path, that's cool. All of the macking lessons and you got a book called Teaching Women How to Be a Gold Digger. Come on, man. Yeah, look that up on Amazon. And, of course, it's going to come back and say, well, it's giving women game on how to blah, 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 and the brothers is giving brothers game on how. Look at the pictures on the front of the book with the half-naked women. You look like a pimp. So if that's the image, I was reading Frances Cress Welsing's book today, and she talked about the importance of signs and symbols and images. You can write a whole book full of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and put some bullshit on your cover, and people will resonate and remember the cover more than what's on the inside, the substance.
So, brothers and sisters, tonight's show.
Shout out to all the kings and queens in the chat room. I see y'all. I'm trying to keep hold of. Yeah, the sisters I'm telling you. I just said what a lot of people were thinking.
Yeah, they were thinking. And Tariq Najee, trust, man, brother, this is not an attack.
No, it's not. And it's not even about him personally. This is so much bigger than him.
Right. Because
that's what was so offensive to me.
Right.
Me. I this, I that. Bro, this is so much bigger than you. You know how many booty shots brothers so-called conscious, and I'm not even, you don't want to be identified as conscious, cool. But black men in general, how many disrespectful things are posted about black women every day? Right. This is so much bigger than you. Please.
Right. So I just think what we're going to do as men is just step up and be better men. This is what the Million Man March did for me. You understand what I'm saying? But I was that brother before that. But it strengthened, what I thought I was activating and putting in place. And when I met with the Million Brothers on the mall, it reaffirmed that. Yeah. And when I went back to the elders, went back to the community, and stepped my game up as far as being a conscious, revolutionary, militant, radical brother, I proceeded forth from then. And I have to thank the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I have to thank the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and all those brothers in the FOI that surrounded me, all those revolutionary brothers that came around me, S1Ws and other brothers, because men sharpen men, steel sharpen steel.
Can I just say something?
Let me say one last thing to the men.
Yes.
Brothers, stop running your mouth on the YouTube page and on Facebook. Meet me on the front line and let's do the work. All right? He who cannot control his appetites belong to the enemy.
And I really think, why is it so hard for us to set standards? It's funny because we have, the documentaries talking about how great our ancestors were and what they built. And how do you think they built that stuff?
Right.
They had to master themselves.
Exactly.
They weren't walking around thinking, living, and eating and breathing women and having sex all the time. Right. And I don't think our men understand how brainwashed they are being in this society by constantly thinking about sex and controlling women. Some of these brothers just want to control me. I know. I just want to get up under me, think they're interested in me. She's beautiful. She's this. God. She's that.
Y'all just don't know.
Wouldn't even be able to survive 2 days with me. Because you can't control me. The only way a man can control a woman is by controlling himself. I'm going to say that again.
Right.
The only way a man can control a woman is by controlling himself. Brothers, y'all going to have to get that lesson because it's too much energy being put into, first of all, the sisters is in the back. They ain't at the table where the discussions are being made and the decisions are being made about the things that are going to happen in our community. And we talk about women and children as an afterthought.
Right.
You're not building a nation without women at the table. Period. So I say all of that to say that I have seen young sisters get turned out at a young age.
Yeah.
I could have been one of those sisters. I had that look. I was the one that the brothers was trying to get at. It just so happened that there was something that the Creator put in me that guided me and navigated all of those minds. But I was in the hood. I saw my friends having sex with Arab liquor store owners for money so they could give their parents, their mothers money to get food for the children because there wasn't a man in the house.
Right.
I know sisters who got molested, who got raped in the community. Young girls was getting trains ran on them. And everybody talked about it like it was nothing.
Right.
We got sisters doing life sentences right now and doing sentences because they took drug runs with men. Are we looking at the condition of our women? How can we be so savage? How can we be so insensitive towards the plight of our women? Stop that. I'm just saying I don't understand where black women have always had our brother's backbone. We've always, even in our worst condition, right now, still the black woman is the glue in the community. When does that get reciprocated? Yeah, we got some brothers on the front line that are bigging up women, a few. But some of these brothers, the way that they talk about women, it's like in passing. But they always want to be lecturing women about feminism and about, the way that black women are raising boys and the way that black women are this. It's always a lecture. Where's the compassion? Where's the love? Where's the empathy? Where's the sensitivity? You got a woman inside you, bruh. You don't know that? You don't know that science? You better tap back into that feminine aspect of yourself and balance that out, because this whole bros over hoes thing, we ain't talking about it, but that whole ideology is lending to homosexuality in our communities.
Right.
You teaching our sons not to respect women, not to value women. So what's next?
Exactly. So the show that we're talking about on YouTube, write this down, is Professor Griff ZaZa Ali discusses the connection between stripper culture and sex trafficking. And I truly, truly believe, knowing Tariq Nasheed, that if he would have listened to the whole thing, he would have put it in context.
Yeah, because I was upset about the condition of women, not you.
Right.
It wasn't about you. Sorry.
All right, tonight's show we're going to be talking about the gender wars, blurring the lines between male and female. The caller number is 347-633-9644. The foreword to ZaZa Ali's book is entitled Unapologetically Black. All right, so in moving that forward, these things need to be discussed. I want to sit down with the Sonettas and the brothers that put on the debates and this kind of thing, because I want to know where the women in the debates. You see, that we're not bringing the sisters to the table to balance it out. What happened to my? Oh, I'm sorry.
But what do we want to debate?
No, there's some things that we need.
I'm like Francis Cress Wilson. You put a white boy in my face and we can talk.
That's what
I'm going to debate somebody in our community
That's
for.
what we told Sonetta up on the block. We told him, listen, no more debates until we debate that demon, that beast, that devil. Yeah. Plain and simple. End of the damn story. So tonight we're going to be talking about gender wars. Blurring the lines. Yeah. Blurring the lines between male and female.
We kind of went off a little bit.
Prancing elite. What is the prancing elite?
The prancing elites, bruh. Oh my God. I put the video on. It's the dudes who are like have taken over the cheerleading aspect of the team, and I gotta get my
well,
stuff.
Find that while I read the rest of this. Empire. Okay, yeah, we're going to talk about Empire yet again. Drinking cow's milk, feeding your baby powdered milk as opposed to feeding your baby powder. All of these things kind of lend to the whole idea of the lines being blurred.
Yep.
But can't figure out why homosexuality has become the pandemic in the black community. We're going to talk about it. Call-in number 347-633-9644. It's Professor Griff and ZaZa Ali, and we are on tonight. Please call a friend. Matter of fact, I'm about to call Darren Muhammad or somebody. Jaheed Muhammad, one of the Muhammads. I'm going to call a couple of L's, Bays, X's, and a few other people. I need y'all to make the phone call also. But make sure y'all check out Black Magic 363, Brother Rich's YouTube page. That please listen to the whole hour of what me and Zaza have to say about strippers, the connection between stripper culture and sex trafficking. There's some serious stats that we read. Yeah, don't minimize it to this, because it's so much bigger than either one of us. Right. To be honest. All right. We want to let everybody know we have a lot of love, much love and respect for our people, especially Tariq Nasheed. We'll be right back. This is Professor Griff and ZaZa Ali on NMEMINDZ Radio. We'll be right back.
110% Clothing is an apparel that caters to the athletic and fitness community. Our goal is to provide top quality athletic apparel and accessories in this particular market. We sell hats, shoes, and shirts for any athletic or outdoor activity. You can contact us at 110%clothing.com or call 800-216-3623. That's 800-216-3623.
All Them DVDs has got you covered for your DVD needs. History, Pan-Africanism, religion, metaphysics, health, astrology, economics, and more. AllThemDVDs.com has over 7,000 titles. If you don't have it, we'll get it. Go to AllThemDVDs.com now for discounts. That's AllThemDVDs.com or call 267-257-3270. Yes, All Them DVDs. Remember, AllThemDVDs.com.
At Eat, Drink, and Be Conscious, we have a world of products choosing organic ingredients first and 100% all-natural superior ingredients second. Eat, Drink, and Be Conscious created 100% all-natural personal skincare line, the home of our aluminum-free 100% all-natural deodorant with bentonite clay, with or without probiotics for adults and children. Our silky smooth, 100% pure shea butter base skin souffle is great for your skin, especially dry skin, all made with fragrances or pure essential oils. All of our products contain no useless carrier oils, no parabens, no animal derivatives, just no-nonsense skin food. It's good for you. We even have 100% all-natural fluoride-free toothpaste that remineralizes your teeth and helps prevent tooth decay. Visit edmbc.com. Order your superior products today. Health is wealth, and you're worth it. edmbc.com.
Number nine.
Finally understanding what a rebel is. I don't have a government and I don't have a president. Fuck authority, I'm man enough to question it. They telling stories but they never have the evidence. And everything on the news is irrelevant. Fuck a celebrity, tell me what 9/11 is. Hearts rock when we saw the planes fall. If we living on our knees, then what do we stand for? But you'll never know the truth if you always play ball. I'd rather be the coach, I would rather play call. Not a slave to the money, but I gotta make more. They wanna make it rain, but I'd rather brainstorm. Talk about the war, talk about the crime rate. Let the truth ring, take your mind off, vibrate. Police are bullies, politics are mind games. Don't let them fool you, power is a mind state.
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised.
Number nine.
All right, peace family, are back.
I'm sorry, I was trying to bring it in with the smooth.
Oh, okay. B105, 104. Do your thing, bro.
So have people. That's correct here. A Tuesday evening. No, seriously. We need everybody to just take a deep breath. Through your nose. Out your mouth.
Out the mouth.
Yeah. Right. Okay?
Comprende?
We're not going to have this immature bickering back and forth kind of thing.
No, I don't do that.
No, just letting the people know.
Yeah.
Then we're going to raise the vibrational pitch, as we always say.
Right.
And Tariq will call me, and we'll talk. Matter of fact, we'll go on the show. You want to go on the show? If anybody knows Tariq Nasheed's number, give him my number, 678-557-2919. And we'll go on the show tomorrow. Make it happen.
I'll think about
that. That's what, sister.
Bruh.
As your brother. Your big brother.
Okay, well, I got something to get off my chest.
Well,
when I get it off my chest, then perhaps we could do that.
Write whatever you need to write to
going to.
And then we'll go on the show if he invites us in. Or he can come on this show. Thursday. Why are you quiet? Let me tell you something.
I'm listening to the music in the background.
When that dude said what he had to say about me on the West Coast, and some people said I was tapping into my feminine side, and I called my crew, and they spray painted his car, and I was about to bring the paint on a physical tip. The dude called me, and we worked it out. He had me on his show.
Yeah. Well, my thing is, I don't really see him as somebody who's going to change his behavior.
Why not?
I just don't.
All of us can change.
I'm not saying he won't. I'm saying I don't see him as somebody who will. Because, honestly, from what he said yesterday, he doesn't think that what he's doing is wrong. He doesn't see any wrong with it.
But you and I both have to be able to look at not only him, but a younger version of him that's somewhere in the world. And we have to know in our heart that anyone can change.
Which is why we're talking about this now.
I'm not the same person I used to be.
Yeah.
And what he is on that level, I was that other dude. So if I can change, anybody listening to the sound of my voice can change.
Yeah.
I'm serious, because I was that dude. Anyway, I got written off as having a Napoleonic complex and all this kind of stuff, why I'm so violent and, all of the violent stuff that I'm a nice guy now, though.
Yeah, but with all of that said, regardless of my feelings about him personally.
See, we can't make it personal.
But it is personal. I'm sorry. That's just, and I say it personally because I'm not taking it as he attacked me or whatever. I mean, the things he said were beneath me, yes, but it's personal because it's always personal for me. It's personal when brothers get shot and killed in the streets. It's personal when the police kill. So it's always personal for me.
I just don't want to make it personal.
No, I'm not saying.
Let me finish. Okay. I don't want to make it personal, and then in that context, saying what we're saying, mentioning an individual's name, because then they will take it personal. And then once you put up your guard and your defenses, then now we have to deal with all of that other stuff. I'm just saying the approach should be, yes, I can change, you can change,
yes.
Monique, Erica, Jamal, Gary, my hard-head ass nephews, cousins, your people, we can change.
True that.
And all I'm saying is, as a man, I want to give Tariq Nasheed the breathing room, the space to sit back in a meditative moment and says, you know something, what the sister said, let me think about that. But you see, we can't keep the personal thing.
Well, I respect that, and let me clarify what I was saying, because before I started, I was about to acknowledge the greatness of what he's done. That's where I was going. But when I say it's personal, I don't mean what he said about me.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, for me to speak about the image that he put up and what I've seen consistently from him, this wasn't just one picture. And people keep saying one picture. Right. It's not just one picture. It's continuous. It's whatever he is. I don't know. I don't want to focus on that. But it's personal for me, the condition of our women, and it's personal for me, the condition of our people. You don't have to know me. It's not about me. You can think whatever you want to think about me.
Right.
But that's why I got so upset at his response, because all of the information we put out, the level of conversation and the importance of the topic that we were dealing with, and the only thing he said was me. Okay, you can bash me all you want to, but what about the 170,000 black children that's going missing every year?
Right.
That's all I'm saying. So when I say it's personal, not because it's personal against me, the struggle for the edification of our people is very personal to me.
All right. So the song that we had played was from K9. Shout out to K9. Very short song, but right on point. That one verse, when I first heard it, it did it for me. I didn't really need to hear anything else. But the brother has some more music. And later on, we're going to be playing the music of some friends of mine who I had the pleasure of hanging out with, doing a couple of things with. Black Violin. So check them brothers out on YouTube, man. Black Violin. All right. So blurring the lines between male and female. So
I know we have some brother DJ is going to call in at 9. Should we check that? Or
I already checked it. I'm on the job. Yeah, DJ is not yet called in, and he hasn't texted me to say what number he's calling from.
Okay, cool.
But the Warriors Conference, I'm going to make this announcement again when he calls. But
okay.
The Warriors Conference is in Tampa this Saturday. Saturday, February 28th, 2015. Doors open up at 12. It's from 1 until at the Genesis Sports Bar and Grill, 1213 West Waters Avenue in Tampa, Florida. This Saturday, myself and Miss ZaZa Ali will be there as comrades, brother and sister, traveling on the same path.
Yep, all that.
So
I'm not speaking, but I will be there in support of you, as well as DJ, as well as Marimba Ani, Seti, Irritated Genie, Baruti, all of the family that's going to be there. I will be there supporting and, of course, being your assistant, holding your bags and getting your books and your pen when people want autographs and selling their DVDs.
Sad.
Just make sure you break me off a little something.
I got you.
All right. So in the meantime, let's get this conversation started. We're probably going to have to do a part 2 to this, seeing how her whole first part of the show has been rightfully derailed. But the pandemic right now, and a guy who I think he looked like a homosexual said, pandemic is a word you use for diseases, infectious diseases. I said, yeah, I use that word intentionally. This is not personal to your individual life. This is about looking at our people as a collective and looking at the situation that we are in right now. Now, we had the sister. Did you send her the flyer, Antoinise?
No, because when I went back in my phone, I thought I saved her number.
Okay.
We're gonna do a part 2 because we're gonna make sure she's on, and people and brothers.
I
and
never
sisters,
responded to her emails.
If you don't remember what the sister came on and interrupted a conversation we were having, and she wanted to talk about homosexuality, so we decided to talk about homosexuality and gender, and we wanted to invite her in the conversation. So I'll see if she's in the call queue.
Okay.
If she is, we can have the dialogue.
Okay.
If not, we'll pick this up on Thursday so she can, but I'll contact her.
Okay, but she not only wanted to talk about homosexuality, she wanted to talk about, she's always been attracted to women, and she was leaning the conversation towards using men as a method of having children.
Right.
Having that relationship with a female, but having a man come into the relationship to father the child. Now, we didn't get into, kind of jumped into it, so we weren't able to get into what?
No, Brother Rich just texted me. He said, what do y'all think about having a natural hair conversation tomorrow?
That'd be
about to get us in some more trouble.
Why?
I'll tell you, we'll talk about that.
The whole science behind that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you did the lecture. I got you. But go on. I'm sorry. Go on.
Okay, so, I've talked about this in my lecture before about this article. The baby maker, a sister in Atlanta, has become known as the baby maker. Let me see if I can find the front page. Because she basically, her and her girlfriend, wife, significant other, I believe they may be married. The article is called Meet the Parents, How One Same-Sex Couple Turned Its Struggle to Make a Family into a Mission. Basically, they found a home insemination kit It's cost $78 that she used to impregnate Thompson, which is the girlfriend with donated sperm. Basically, they found a brother on Craigslist who was willing to donate his sperm. They bought a $78 home insemination kit and had the brother come, go in the room, do his thing, put his sperm in a tube type of thing, contraption, whatever. And then went in the other bedroom, took the sperm and inserted into the other sister, the wife, and she got pregnant, and she had a son. So check this out. While she was pregnant, they would play Danielle Steele books. I think it was Danielle Steele. Don't quote me on that.
Danielle Steele?
Yeah, it was one of those famous books, but a male version of the voice so that the child could hear a man's voice and it's, coming up.
Right.
So, we talk all the time about genetically modified societies. If that's not genetically modified, I don't know what is.
Right. The environment in which a child is in while in the womb is very sacred and it's very, very important.
The connection between the man and the woman.
Right.
The intimacy, the physical touch, all of those things. That is science. It's not just the whole romantic element. Yeah. No, there's a science that is taking place. There's endorphins that are moving in your mind when you have based on physical touch. So there's a whole science that's taking place in your body when you go through that love making, which is what it should be, process. So there was another article that talked about. It's entitled. Artificial Wombs, the Coming Era of Motherless Births. See, this is the real science behind the whole stem cell research project.
Right.
And I just want to just smack, not physically, intellectually, all of our people who were doing the ice bucket challenge, giving $90-some-odd million to stem cell research. You don't even know what they're doing.
Right, mad scientists.
You just, you talk about creating consciousness, which is what Griff, you so eloquently coined. This is creating consciousness. They show you something, make it look fun, and then they have everybody do it, and they make money in the process. So, the article, somebody in the chat room asked, does Zaza love her mother, Master Allah?
But that's...
I'll answer that.
Okay.
Let me stay on track.
All right.
So, in the article, it talks about homosexuals and then potentially being able to create life. Let me find the actual part. While social conservatives might be receptive about what an artificial uterus might do to the abortion paradigm, make no mistake, they'd probably not be happy about that. The technology also stands to make it much easier for male gay couples to have babies. All they need is an egg donor. No more need for a surrogate mother to take the embryo into her uterus and carry it for 40 weeks. That's easier for a gay couple in terms of practicality, waiting periods, and money. The same thing goes for a transgender person wanting to have a child.
You got to read that again.
Bruh, what I really need to do is go into the science of it.
Yeah, do that.
So scientifically, it's called ectogenesis, a term coined by Master Allah. Slow your roll, bruh. You in the chat room doing too much. I'm going to mute you right now. We're having a conversation about something that's happening in our community. So just slow your roll a little bit. And shout out to Shakir for trying to hold it down. But yeah, just slow your roll. Your name is Master Allah. Master yourself and learn how to be quiet. Scientifically, it's called ectogenesis, a term coined by J.B.S. Haldane in 1924. A hugely influential science popularizer, Haldane did for his generation what Carl Sagan did later in the century. He got people thinking and talking about the implications of science and technology on our civilization and did not shy away from inventing new words in order to do so. In discussing the idea in his work, a reference to the inventor in Greek mythology. Wait a minute. Let me get to the point here. Where are we on the road to echnogenesis right now? To begin, progress has definitely been rapid over the last 20 to 30 years. In the mid-1990s, Japanese investigators succeeded in maintaining goat fetuses for weeks in a machine containing artificial amniotic fluid. At the same time, the recent decades have been seen rapidly advancement in neonatal intensive care that is pushing back the minimum gestational age from which human fetuses can be kept alive. Today, it is possible for a preterm fetus to survive when removed from the mother at a gestational age of slightly less than 22 weeks.
Right.
So basically what they're talking about is pulling the child out of the mother's womb before it's in those developmental stages in the womb, and creating a womb-like environment so that the child can survive there. What they're trying to do is be able to, right now it's pulling the womb, it's doing it during certain trimesters, but what they're trying to do is create the womb environment so they can just take the egg and the sperm and make it happen on their own.
Okay, so when you read something to the effect of it being in a developmental stage, pulling the child out of the womb, when is it not developing? The child is always developing.
Yeah.
So trying to understand that.
I agree. So let's listen to this first video. This brother Tyrone Haynes, we're dealing with the science of this right now, and I implore the homosexual community, brothers and sisters who may be listening that's a little in their feelings, if someone were to come to you and tell you, listen, it has been scientifically proven that there are certain things in the environment, whatever, that is impacting your hormones, that may be giving males female parts and whatnot, vice versa, would you listen?
Right.
Or would you be that involved in your own life that you wouldn't take notice of that? So this brother, I have studied his work, Tyrone Hayes. He was a professor of biology at UC Berkeley. A company hired him to study the herbicide atrazine. He was raising 3,000 frogs, and he was doing experiments on them using atrazine. Some of them he applied atrazine to the food, some of them he didn't. And he found out that they were the male frogs were basically being effeminized. So this is an interview that he did with what is it? It'll come on. It's on the tip of my tongue. Democracy Now! All right, so you're tuned into NMEMINDZ Radio. The call-in number is 347-633-9644. We'll be right back.
Tyrone Hayes was first hired in 1997 by a company that later became agribusiness giant Syngenta. They asked him to study their product, atrazine, a pesticide that is applied to more than half the corn crops in the United States and widely used on golf courses and Christmas tree farms. But after Hayes found results that the manufacturer did not expect, that atrazine causes sexual abnormalities in frogs and could cause the same problems for humans, Syngenta refused to allow him to publish his work. This was the start of an epic feud between the scientist and the corporation.
Can you tell us what happened to you, how you were originally tied to Syngenta, the research you did, and what prevented you from originally publishing it?
Well, here at Berkeley, I was a new assistant professor. I was already studying the effects of hormones and the effects of chemicals that interfere with hormones on amphibian development, and I was approached by the manufacturer and asked to study the effects of atrazine, the herbicide, on frogs. And after I discovered that it interfered with male development and caused males to turn into females to develop eggs, the company tried to prevent me from publishing and from discussing that work with other scientists outside of their panel.
What was the process within the company as you raised your findings? What was their immediate reaction to what you had come across?
Well, initially they seemed sort of supportive. We designed more studies, we designed more analysis, and they encouraged me to do more analysis. But as the further analysis just supported the original finding, they became less interested in moving forward very quickly, and eventually they moved to asking me to manipulate data or to misrepresent data, and ultimately they told me I could not publish or could not talk about the data outside of their closed panel.
And Professor Hayes, talk about exactly what you found. What were the abnormalities you found in frogs, the gender-bending nature of this drug, atrazine?
Well, initially we found that the larynx or the voice box in exposed males didn't grow properly. And this was an indication that the male hormone testosterone was not being produced at appropriate levels. And eventually we found that not only were these males demasculinized or chemically castrated, but they also were starting to develop ovaries or starting to develop eggs. And eventually we discovered that these males didn't breed properly, that some of the males actually completely turned into females. So we had genetic males that were laying eggs and reproducing as females. And now we're starting to show that some of these males actually show, I guess, what we call homosexual behavior. They actually prefer to mate with other males.
And so where did you go with your research?
Well, eventually what happened was the EPA insisted that, the Environmental Protection Agency insisted that the manufacturer release me from the confidentiality contract. And we published our findings in pretty high-ranking journals such as Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. We published some work in Nature. We published work in Environmental Health Perspectives, which is a journal sponsored by the National Institutes of Health.
And when did you begin to get a sense that the company was organizing a campaign against you? What were the signs that you saw post the period when you published your findings?
Before we published the findings and before the EPA became involved, the company tried to purchase the data. They tried to give me a new contract so that they would then control the data and the experiments. They actually tried to get me to come and visit the company to get control of those data. And when I refused, I invited them to the university. I offered to share data, but they wanted to purchase the data. And then they actually, as mentioned in the New York article, they actually hired scientists to try to refute the data or to pick apart the data, and eventually they hired scientists to do experiments that they claim refuted our data, and then that escalated to the company actually, Tim Pasteur in particular, and others from the company coming to presentations or lectures that I was giving to make handouts or to stand up and refute the data, and eventually even led to things like threats of violence. Tim Pasteur, for example, before I would give a talk, would literally threaten, whisper in my ear that he could have me lynched, or he would said he would send some of his good old boys to show me what it's like to be gay, or at one point he threatened my wife and my daughter with sexual violence. He would whisper things like, "Your wife's at home alone right now. How do you know I haven't sent somebody there to take care of her? Isn't your daughter there?" So eventually it really slipped into some, pretty scary tactics.
So what did you do? I mean, this is very serious. You could bring criminal charges if you're being threatened and stalked in this way.
Well, initially I went to my vice chancellor here at the university, I went to my dean, I went to legal counsel here at the university, and I was told by legal counsel I was told first of all by the vice chancellor for research at the time that, well, you published the work, it's over, so I don't understand what the problem is. And I tried to impress upon her, Beth Burnside at the time, that it wasn't over, that I was really being pursued by the manufacturer. And eventually, when I spoke with the lawyer here at the university, I was told that, well, I represent the university and I protect the university from liability. You're kind of on your own. And I remember I looked at him and I said, but the very university, from the Latin universitas, is a collection of scholars, of teachers and students. So who is this entity, the university, that you represent that doesn't include me? But clearly there's some entity that doesn't really include us, the professors and students, and doesn't really protect our academic freedom, I think, the way that it should.
I wanted to ask you about one of your critics, Elizabeth Whalen, president of the American Council on Science and Health. When the New York Times ran a critical story about the herbicide as part of its Toxic Water series in 2009, she referred to its reporting as, quote, all the news that's fit to scare. This is a clip of Whalen from an interview on MSNBC.
I very much disagree with the New York Times story, which is really raising concerns about a totally bogus risk. Atrazine has been used for more than 50 years. It's very, very tightly regulated. Even the Environmental Protection Agency, which is not known for soft pedaling about environmental chemicals, even they say it's safe.
Well, it turns out that Syngenta has been a long-term financial supporter of Whalen's organization, the American Council on Science and Health, paying them at least $100,000. Your comments on her remarks?
Well, again, they're paid remarks. And one of the most disheartening things in this whole process is that many of my critics, it's one to be academic if you come and say, well, we interpreted the data this way and we want to argue about this point. But these people really didn't even have an opinion. These opinions were written by the manufacturer, and they were paid to put their names on them to endorse the opinions of the manufacturer. So, that's one of the most disheartening things, that they were really just personalities for sale. And many of the things that she's saying there is just not true. Any independent study from any scientist that's not funded by Syngenta has found similar problems with atrazine, not just my work on frogs, but I've just published a paper with 22 scientists from around the world, from 12 different countries, who've shown that atrazine causes sexual problems in mammals, and that atrazine causes sexual problems in birds, amphibians, fish. So it's not just my work in amphibians. And also with regards to the EPA, one of the scientific advisory panel members on the EPA that was supposed to review atrazine, turns out, is paid and works for Syngenta. So the whole process was tainted, and in fact, the EPA ignored the scientific advisory panel's opinion and actually decided to keep atrazine on the market and not to do any more studies, when that clearly wasn't the recommendation of the scientific advisory panel.
All right. Some very interesting points that the gentleman made as far as their tactics on how these multinational corporations and just big corporations in general go about controlling information that's about their particular products that they obviously know and admittedly, in the smoke-filled back rooms, admittedly will admit to, that they're ill-affecting the masses of the people.
Well, and then that's the underlying thing that I'm asking in the chapter where I deal with this in my book. Are they, how people always say it's about money. It's all about money.
Right.
Are they doing it for money, or are they doing it because they know what it's doing to people?
And that, I think people are at the crossroads with that, because people wouldn't do that.
Why would they do that?
Right. Yeah. So this gentleman published he was given the autonomy, is it? And the freedom?
Yes, to do the research.
Correct. Did the research, came up with his findings, presented his findings.
Mm-hmm.
When the company heard about the findings, they called him in to buy it.
Right.
Well, I mentioned some names, but I can't. Buy it. Then they turned around, and since he didn't want to sell it, they paid professors and scholars and engineers and scientists to do the same research and refute it.
Yeah.
Then when that didn't work, they turned around and started threatening him physically with physical violence.
And his family.
Mm-hmm. And then they had people to go on social media and other things to put out these paid remarks.
So I hope everybody, atrazine is, and I don't think he got to this in the clip, but atrazine is the second largest herbicide that they spray on corn. Right. Second only to Monsanto's Roundup. So the majority of corn, and atrazine is probably better than Monsanto's Roundup, to be honest. But and of course, we're talking about genetically modified corn, because over 80% of the corn in the United States is genetically modified. But if you think about, this is mind blowing to me. They're spraying our food with chemicals that are turning potentially, because of course this is a study on frogs, study on animals, potentially turning boys into girls.
Right. Food.
How can we not be alarmed?
I don't know. Some people look at it as sensationalism. We're exacerbating the tensions. We're reading too much into it.
God, have you seen a brother walk down the street in high heels that don't shake you to your core?
To some people it don't. They they don't shake the Kanye Wests. They don't shake Kanye and A$AP Rocky and these people, man.
Yeah, Kanye's father-in-law is turning into a woman. He's having surgery to turn himself into a woman. That's another show. So let me read this. This is quoting Black Matters on the topic scientific intervention in our affairs dealing with pesticides and herbicides. Point number 1, the U.S. cattle industry started using hormones to enhance beef production in 1956. Number 2, the production of milk per cow has increased from an average of 5,300 pounds of milk yearly to 18,000 pounds yearly since 1950. Number 3, a recent study found that women who routinely ate beef were far more likely to give birth to boys who grew up to have lower than normal sperm counts.
Wow.
Should I read that again?
Beef.
A recent study found that women who routinely ate beef were far more likely to give birth to boys who grew up to have lower than normal sperm counts. Number 4, hormone residues in beef have been implicated in the early onset of puberty in girls, which could put them at greater risk of developing breast and for other forms of cancer. Another synthetic hormone known as DES was one of the first synthetic estrogens. Estrogen is female sex hormone, made and used commercially in the United States to fatten chickens. It was later found to cause cancer and was phased out of use. In 1971, DES was shown to cause a rare vaginal tumor in girls and women who had been exposed to this drug in utero, which means in the web. Males had been affected by
utero. In the
utero womb. Means in the womb.
In the womb. Okay,
yes.
I thought you said the web. Okay, the womb.
Maybe I did.
Okay.
In the womb, yes. Males had been affected also. Dr. Scott Kurland of the DES Sons International Research Network documented the effects for 15 years, saying the high prevalence of individuals with confirmed or strongly suspected prenatal DES exposure who self-identify as male to female, transsexual, or transgender have experienced difficulties with the gender emotional unease. And then the last point, animals that exhibited these neurological changes after exposure to DES were also shown to demonstrate various gender-related behavioral changes, in parentheses, feminization of males. There is significant evidence linking prenatal hormonal influence on gender identity and transsexual development.
Question.
Yes.
This is from your book, right?
Correct.
Okay, so if men eat beef, will it show up in the sperm affecting the child?
Well, hold on. Let me delete this dude. I don't know why I can't kick him out. Master Allah. Ask the question again.
If a man eats beef, will it show up in the sperm and will it ultimately affect the child?
Yes, it will. Now, it depends on what type of herbicide we're talking about, because if it's estrogen, it's a female hormone, which they are injecting into a lot of different types of meat, which is impacting males being effeminized as well as the male sperm count. So this study here was talking about the mother eating beef and it affecting the boy's sperm count.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yes.
Right.
So the probability is very high that if it affected the mother and the child long term just from being in the womb, that if males are eating beef, more than likely it is affecting their sperm count.
Right. We're going to open up the phone lines in about 5 or 6 minutes, but before we do that, we have to break.
Well, can I play this 3-minute clip?
Yep.
Real quick. Okay. This one is dealing with the intersex of the fish gender. So we'll play this and then we'll be right back in just a moment.
As I previously reported in Prison Planet of the Apes, SSRI and other psychological control drugs are used to control animals in zoos. But zookeepers don't want to talk about it. They're ashamed to talk about using drugs to control animal behavior. But psychologists brazenly and shamelessly use these same drugs to control humans. And even if you're not directly taking behavior control medications, they're being so widely prescribed that they're finding their way into the water. And water treatment for public water doesn't remove the drugs. But it's not just the zoo animals who are canaries in a coal mine. Fish and other aquatic animals are warning us about other pharmaceutical dangers in what we eat and drink. In a study published about 2 weeks ago, bass and suckerfish in 3 major Pennsylvania rivers were found to have testicular oocytes. In other words, the male fish had eggs in their testicles. At many test sites, it was 100% of the male fish with eggs in their testicles. These hermaphrodite fish are called intersex organisms. Even the Washington Post is reporting it now, so you can believe it. At first, she was surprised. Then she was disturbed. Now she is a little alarmed. Each time a different batch of male fish with eggs in their testes showed up in the Chesapeake Bay watershed, Vicki Blazer's eyebrows arch a bit higher. Well, what's the cause? Their hormones, in other words, their endocrine system, has been disrupted by chemicals in the water. It's far more widespread than they expected. It's not just Pennsylvania. Studies have shown this happening in the Chesapeake Bay region, Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, West Virginia, the Columbia, Colorado, and Mississippi rivers, and it's far more severe than they expected. And the severity was correlated with being found downstream from pollution sources. What are the pollution sources? Well, with the mutant bass, Blazer said, we keep seeing a correlation with the percent of agriculture in the watershed where we conduct a study. That's right, the chemicals came from agricultural runoff, from chemical fertilizers and manure, and get this, waste from human sewage. Think about that. Fish reproductive systems are being destroyed. Fish gender are being changed by chemicals, and those chemicals are coming from our food supply. They're chemicals that are being sprayed on our crops. They're chemicals that are being fed to the animals that we then eat. And they're chemicals that are found in our excrement that we've ingested. And the chemicals will have the same effect on us. The drop in Western fertility rates is not just a function of people making economic decisions about family size. These animals are warning us about our future.
You've experienced and heard about the benefits of supermale vitality.
Yeah, that's the end.
Okay.
Did you hear what he said?
Yeah.
Bruh, the male fish had eggs in their testicles.
Mm.
And then he said that it's from human food, the human food supply and the human sewage. I mean, half of the United States is on prescription pills.
Yeah.
So when you use the bathroom, that excrement, whatever you want to call it, goes into the toilet, goes into the sewage, back into the water treatment facility, and then it ends up back in the water that we pour from our sinks. There's absolutely no way to separate all of that garbage that is in the water supply.
Even the water treatment plants don't do this?
No.
They even increase the filters and this kind of thing?
No.
With this discovery?
No. I don't know if I don't know what they've done, but I do know that they've done mass testing and found all of those chemical elements that are found in prescription drugs are in the water.
Man, you couldn't pay me to eat beef and drink tap water. Hell nah.
Yep.
Anyway, this is Professor Griff ZaZa Ali on NMEMINDZ Radio. To all those brothers and sisters out there that celebrated Savior's Day, happy Savior's Day, brothers and sisters. We'll be right back.
Say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Wear your pride on your chest with Foxy's unique limited edition apparel for men, women, and kids. Check them out at myfoxy.com. That's myfoxy.com. At Foxy, they even have a variety of art, pillows, and more at myfoxy.com. Use coupon code MMBTRS14 and get 10% off your order. Get Foxy. Does your business need a boost? Did you hire Pookie and them to do your logo? At Free Yourself Designs, we can help you and your business stand out with our graphic design services, backed by our 100% custom design guarantee. Call us today, 919-964-FYD1. That's 919-964-3931. Or email us at freeyourselfdesigns@outlook.com. Free yourself and free your mind with Free Yourself Designs.
Are you an author, music artist, or entrepreneur? If you have an amazing book, brand, or vision you want to see come to life, contact Usben, a Brooklyn-born artist specializing in original Afrocentric hip-hop and cultural artwork for books, logos, CD covers, apparel, and more to fit your unique taste. So email artist@usben.com, ARTIST@UTHVEN.com. Visit online at usben.com or call Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at 646-362-3370. That's 646-362-3370, and make the visual as one of a kind as you are.
That's the
of emergency alert system capabilities. This test message has been initiated by National Alert.
War is being waged against us on all levels. Be dressed, be ready with Warrior Wear t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, and hoodies. Come check us out at our website, warriorwearrbg.com. Again, that's warriorwearrbg.com.
All right, Ms. ZaZa Ali, we definitely going to have to do a part 2 to this because...
we're just talking about the science now. We're not even talking about the psychological and media and
the effect,
the social.
Talking about the cause. We need to talk about, but some of the
one
effect,
of the causes.
Right.
Just one of the causes.
The effect, does it create this gender bending kind of? Does it blur the lines, especially when you see it, the end result on the runway at a Kanye West, fashion kind of thing?
What happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
Kanye West.
Are you talking about the
men, women, men? You can't tell the difference.
Oh yeah, no, I could tell
the crotchless. Yeah.
But that's the whole fashion. Yeah, that's. Well, remember I put the post up of the brothers, 2 beautiful brothers in dresses,
right,
walking the runway. There was an article that highlighted the different designers that actually had men in dresses, and
right.
They talked about women wearing suits, which is not really that new, but I think that they are intentionally masculinizing the suits, if that's a word, more. But there's an article called Gender Bending Chemicals Found to Feminize Boys. This is in newsciences.com. It says gender bending chemicals mimicking the female hormone estrogen can disrupt the development of baby boys, suggests the first evidence linking certain chemicals in everyday plastics to affect humans. The chemicals implicated are, I always say this word wrong, phthalates.
Spell it.
PHTHALATES. Yes. I think it's phthalates, but yeah, we'll say phthalates, which make plastics more pliable in many cosmetics, toys, baby feeding bottles, and paints,
right.
And can leak into water and food. All previous studies suggesting these chemicals blunt the influence of the male hormone testosterone on healthy development of males have been in animals. The research highlights the need for tougher controls of gender-bending chemicals. The incriminating findings came from a study of 85 baby boys born to women exposed to everyday levels of phthalates during pregnancy. It was carried out by Shanna Swan at the University of Rochester School of Medicine and Dentistry. As an index of feminization, she measured the anogenital distance between the anus to the base of the penis. She also measured the volume of each boy's penis. Earlier studies have shown that the AGD is twice in boys. AGD is anogenital distance. Earlier studies show that the AGD is twice in boys what it is in girls, mainly because in boys the hormone testosterone extends the length of the perineum, separating the anus from the testicles. In animals, AGD is reduced by phthalates, which mimic estrogen, which keep testosterone from doing its normal job. At higher doses, animals develop more serious abnormalities such as undescended testicles and misplaced openings in the urethra on the penis, a group of symptoms called phthalate syndrome in animals. So let's just rewind. We're talking about plastics found in many cosmetics, toys, baby feeding bottles, and paints and can leak into water and food. So, of course, breastfeeding is the optimal. But then if you pump or if you for whatever reason you have to feed your baby a bottle, you should be using glass bottles.
Glass, right.
Yep.
Glass. Wow. A couple of other things. We're going to open up the phone line in 1 minute, brothers and sisters. The gay bomb, dealing with chemical and biological warfare, really chemical warfare. In the Iraq War, and, they were dropping the gay bomb. They was dropping a bomb, and the bomb was designed to make these so-called, quote-unquote, insurgents fall in love with one another, have sex with one another.
Wow.
So I would really like for the gay community to call and talk.
Well, can you give a little bit more information on that? What does that mean?
As far as warfare is concerned, well, we'd have to break down warfare because there's really nothing fair. You understand what I'm saying? When it comes to war. But they basically, develop a bomb where they can drop it and it feminizes you.
Mm-hmm.
And
so it has certain chemicals in it.
Exactly. Chemical warfare.
Interesting.
But we'll talk about that on Thursday. We'll bring the data.
Okay.
And the gay sorority. These are the effects. These are the end results.
Wow.
And then they put it off on the political. They bring it in the political arena, and they want to talk about who does and does not have so-called rights. You're listening to Black Violin in the background. We're going to open up the phone lines. Once again, please do not disrespect your hosts. The Master Allahs that come on in the name of Allah.
Yeah, call in.
Yeah.
He's in the chat room trying to kick up dust. Call in. 347-633-9644.
Yeah, we'd like to hear him.
Call in.
I want the people to hear him so we can kind of...
Call in.
But anyway, here we go.
I think this is a perplexed homosexual that doesn't know how to deal with his feelings.
Right.
347-633-9644. Call in.
First caller from the 510 area code. 510. This is Professor Griff ZaZa Ali. What's good?
Thank you for receiving my call. I was concerned because a lot of the information you're providing tonight is not enough for some of the elders to shed the word out to some of the young people that are definitely eating a lot of beef and bad McDonald's. We need to get this information into the Oakland area. We don't seem to have a lot going on, but we do appreciate Sister ZaZa bringing this to our attention because Oakland definitely want to be on top of what's going on because the food industry is real bad.
There's a few DVDs out there that you can purchase, Sister, that definitely the Codex Alimentarius. Check out Codex Alimentarius, Food Inc. You can go to goveggie.com. The information is there. What's happening, Sister, we just don't know where to find it. And then you hear us struggling with some of these words and how to pronounce them. And a lot of times we just got to get caught up. But we have to go back to the Scott Whitakers, the Layla Africas,
right,
the Phil Valentines and Queen of Fools to get the information, Dr. Sabies to get the information so they can teach us these things.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we're trying. I'm working very hard to get the word out.
There's also a documentary called Urban Kryptonite. There's a lot of natural, holistic doctors and brothers and sisters who are very studied on this topic. You should definitely look that up. It's Urban, and then it's KRYPTONITE.
Right.
I'm sure if you look it up on Google, you'll be able to find it.
Okay. Thanks, information.
All right.
And I'd like to see you back in the Bay Area.
All right.
I'll be back soon, Queen. Thank you so much for calling in.
All right. This is Professor Griff ZaZa Ali on NMEMINDZ Radio. The calling number is 347-633-9644 every Tuesday and Thursday. Caller from the 813 area code. This is Professor Griff ZaZa Ali. What's good? 813. Talk to me. All right, 813. Caller from the 862 area code.
Peace. What's up, ZaZa? What's up, Griff?
Peace. What's good?
I'm good, man. I like the topic tonight. I wanted to add though, it's another doctor that mentions this. His name is Dr. Edward Group. Have you ever heard of him?
Spell his name.
I think it's Edward, like E-D.
We got the Edward part. What's his last name?
Group, Group.
Okay.
Okay.
And what he says that iodine is, well, this guy, he has a lecture. He says that iodine is one of the cures to homosexuality because somehow iodine balances out your thyroid and it eliminates the estrogen. Because what the estrogen does is the estrogen blocks your thyroid and it confuses your body. And what he was saying, pretty much the same thing, what he was saying about the frogs and all that. Now, this guy, he sells iodine, but don't be fooled by that, right? Because one of the iodines that he was talking about is in sea moss or in chlorella, or is in, I think it's in moringa, kelp. So, it's like they got the synthetic type of iodine, but the natural ones are in like the sea mosses and everything.
Okay.
So I think that's something. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let me ask you something. You made mention that it cures homosexuality. So let me understand.
Hey, Griff, I'm just speculating on what the man said.
I'll go check him out and I'll get it from the source. I got you, good brother.
But I'm just speculating. But I'm a nutritionist and I study naturopathic medicine and I'm well versed on this and I know what iodine does and I know how it balances your thyroid and it made sense when as soon as he said it to me. It made sense. It just seemed like my DNA just clicked on to what he was saying with all the information that I already had.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
and it's right on everything what you're talking about tonight. And also, I want to add this.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I want to give you some. I want to give you a source too, Zaza. I want you to check out this page right here, right? And this lady, she talks a lot about what you be saying about the sex slaves and everything.
Bro, what is the page? What is the page? What's the source?
I'm about to give it to you right now.
Yeah, and just while you're doing that, we have to remember when we talk about curing homosexuality, this is just the scientific aspect is just one part of this issue. You know, we have to remember that we have mothers who are raising sons on their own. There's no father in the household. The whole social aspect of the media promoting a homosexual agenda, all of those things are playing into this. So it's not just the physical chemical war, but there's also another war that we're going to deal with on the next show.
So we're talking about curing the behavior is what you're saying. Because that's what I wanted to talk about. I want to go to the source, but you just repeated it. So curing.
He's talking about curing the physical.
Okay, that's what I wanted to be clear about.
You know what though? But no, I don't mean cutting your wisdom.
Give us the source. The people are waiting. Give us the source.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right. This is the source. It's a YouTube page, and it's called Naga Kenya. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but it's a lady, and she talks a lot about what you said about the sex trafficking. It's Naga. It's N-A-G-A.
Hold on. Just spell it for us, because we have some other callers, okay?
No doubt. I got you, Griff. I got you. It's N-A-G-A Kenya. K-A-N-Y-A-Y. I mean, A-H. So it's K-A-N-Y-A-H. Okay, all right. Well, peace out, and I hope the information do you some good, okay?
All right. Peace, good brother.
Peace.
Peace. We trying to get this vermin named Master Allah to call into the show. He's in the talk. I know what's up, but he's in the chat room talking a lot of big stuff. He has some questions for me. I have some questions for you too, sir. So tell me what your area code is in the chat room, and we'll take you next in the call.
Yeah, tell him to put his area code in so we
call
can
in. Let's man up. Take your high heels off and put your Timberlands on, player.
Ooh, here we go. Call up from the 336 area code. Peace. What's good?
Peace, family. This is Shakir.
Peace to the God.
Peace.
Peace. Sister ZaZa, man. Anyway, I ain't gonna go into that because I'm really gonna be hot. That, like my old football coach said, a nigga like that makes my nuts curl. He just.
Okay.
I'm sorry, but it just really pisses me off. But all I wanted to say, family, is that we in war. I say it all the time. You had the brother Irritated Genie when he talked about the gate bomb. They talking about they didn't use it. They just got the technology. You see, they using it. And like I said before, you know, the Matrix, all that stuff, you know, the dead babies in the Pepsi-Cola, the aborted babies, you never know. You know, you drink it. You know, you never met a sane cannibal. Have you ever talked to a sane cannibal? No.
Right.
The same thing that happens with mad cow disease. When an entity that is naturally a vegetarian by nature, when it starts eating other animals, it causes him to have psychological and mental disorders.
Right.
That's why in the DSM manual, homosexuality was listed as a mental disorder, and they took it out.
Yeah, we're going to play something by Umar Abdullah Johnson.
Yes, right. And this is the last thing I want to say, God, is that, you know, I was building with a guy before. I said, look, and we was building, he said, I want you to listen to this real good, family. The problem we have now, right now, is that we have the past incarcerated with the future while they both are in the present. I'm going to say that one more time. We have the past incarcerated with the future while they are both are in the present. And the youth are so savage nowadays, you got to damn near kill them to save the civilized family that you have right now. And it's going to get worse.
Yeah, you're right about that. All right, good brother.
All
I really appreciate
I love you, family. Peace.
Love you, brother.
God.
Peace. Mr.
Right.
James said Sister Zaza tell Griff he got soldiers in Jersey, a lot of them.
Oh, give thanks, man.
Just so you know.
I really appreciate that, man. Caller from the 404 area code. Peace. This is Professor Griff and ZaZa Ali. What's good?
Hey, it's a great topic tonight, but I'll just keep it brief because I know it's other callers in queue. Hey, but what would you recommend, or have you seen anything in regards to detoxing, or how long would it take to get this out of your system, or can we do some universal mind that they sell at 7-9 liver cleanser or something? Because it's almost kind of like, dang, how do you avoid everything? It's almost like you just need to be a breatharian and just, I don't know, you know?
Are you talking about
something?
Are you talking about a gay detox? What are you talking about?
Oh, no, the atrazine. The atrazine and just, from the pesticides and a couple other others, because I caught the end of it, so I was listening to the clips you were playing. Okay. So I didn't hear the beginning of the show, but I just came in on atrazine to where y'all at now. So I'm thinking, you know, what would you suggest in regard to detoxing or is it, I don't know, how long does this stuff stay in your system or whatever?
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, I would say, for one, bentonite clay is definitely a good way to detox. It definitely pulls all of the metals and impurities out of your body. Mm-hmm. We just started taking chlorella.
Chlorella, right.
Which is
and
green, and kelp, which is a super green food. They sell it in the health food stores in a pill format. And then also I purchased some. That was for metals. That was for metals.
Yes,
though.
That was for metals, to pull metals out of it.
I mean, I would, it's not really that difficult. I would say go back to the land. Definitely, don't drink tap water. Eat green foods. Beans and rice might be one of our best options at this point. Don't eat anything processed. Just go back to the land and don't eat as much food, and then fast. Give your body 3 to 7 days a week with no food, as much as you can survive. And that fasting is the best detox, as well as, of course, you have your CKLS, your bentonite clay, all of these different things that you can take to supplement it.
All right, good brother. We really appreciate your call. All right.
Okay, appreciate it.
All right, appreciate it,
brother. Master Al said, I do not want to call in because I don't want the police/Illuminati on my back.
Yeah.
Agents like these two and Sonetter always want evidence to take back to Massa. Allah is fine with me. We don't work for anybody.
Thank you.
You have a job?
Anyway, let's end this conversation with this brother right here. Caller from the 202 area code. Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from? 202. This is Professor Griff and ZaZa Ali. 202.
We got a lot of callers holding.
Hold on. 202. We'll get black with you. All right. Where are we at? Caller from the 708. 708. Peace. This is Professor Griff and ZaZa Ali. What's good? All right. 708.
Try 704. Oh, you already took the 704.
No, caller from, this is Mike Lee Ross. Mike Lee Ross, are you a country singer? Hello?
No, I'm not a country singer. But how y'all doing, bro?
What's going on, man? Mike D. Ross, how you feel, man?
I'm doing all right, man. I called in a few weeks ago, man, about my boy Kanye, man. And you seen where he stood up for black people again on live television.
Mike, come on, Mike.
Wait, let him finish. What'd he do?
He's letting you know that they discriminating against our culture and our artists. Beyonce should have won them awards. But everybody else scared to say something. You know what I'm saying? So he's standing up. He made his message that he getting across, and I respect it, man. That's all I'm saying. I'm not homosexual. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of his fans are gay.
Kanye West. You just love Kanye West.
I respect Kanye West. Tupac and Kanye West and Public Enemy, and my boy and ZaZa.
Listen, brother, I've seen petitions that are being started because Selma didn't get an award, and because, like, bruh, we are so far beyond, especially in this conversation, talking about how white people are not awarding and rewarding us for our art. Like, we're so far beyond that. If Kanye West is even still having that conversation, he really needs to step his game up. And I'm going to leave it at that.
But check it out, though. Music is the most important influence right now.
Like Mike Jones.
Yeah, no. All right.
Peace, bro. You got to call. You got to raise your level of conversation. We ain't on Kanye like that.
Yes. Hold up one second. Hold up. Caller from the 202 area code. Caller from the 202 area code. Peace. What's good?
Hey, how y'all doing?
All right. Who am I speaking with?
This is Irritated Genie, brother.
Irritated Genie. Peace. How you feel, good brother? For the people that don't know you, tell them what book you wrote in, and who are you, good brother?
Oh, yes, Irritated Genie of Southeast of War on the Horizon. Going to be down at the Warriors Conference this weekend with Brother Griff and Brother Rudy and a whole host of brothers and sisters. And basically, we out here trying to fight this homosexual war that y'all talking about tonight for our people and prevent genocide. So that's what we do.
That's right. You definitely want to check out Brother Irritated Genie's videos on YouTube. You will get a full, well-researched and historical perspective on what's taking place with the homosexual assault in the black community. And big up to you, brother, for starting the Straight Black Pride movement.
Wow.
You absolutely. If we don't do nothing else, we should be repping that for the young people.
Nowadays, being straight, it almost seems like it's like, man, you get kicked out of the room.
Right. They going straight to that room. Irritated Genie. They happy to hear your voice, to see you in the call line tonight.
Well, tell them we love them. We love the brothers and sisters, and we glad to. Anytime we can be with y'all, the great work that y'all doing. Y'all blowing the airwaves up. Matter of fact, I had to call and get permission to talk on the airwaves. Did they give me permission to hit the airwaves?
Man, do me a favor. Good work. Can you talk to someone for me? Can you speak to someone for the 2 minutes we have left?
Sure.
Hold on. Caller from the 405 area code. What's good?
What it do?
How you feel, good brother? Hold on 1 second, all right?
Okay.
I thought the 405, I thought that was the sister calling. The brother from the 405, sit tight for 1 second. So, Irritated Genie, what kind of pain you bringing this weekend, man, in the 2 minutes we have left?
Man, I'm going to be talking about this homosexual assault, and I'm going to talk about what we're going to do to fix this thing. So, we're going to be in the house. We're going to bring it strong, and we ain't got nothing but warriors on it on the panel, so it's going to be strong.
Would you like to see some of the Master Allahs and all these people in the chat room talking all this smack about whatever the hell they talking about? Wouldn't you like to see some of them there?
He's a homosexual.
Undercover homosexual.
Undercover
coming in the name of Allah. Ain't that something?
His name is Master Allah. You better go sit your butt down somewhere.
Yeah, you might not want to come. You might want to sit the Warriors Conference out, because we ain't gonna be doing a whole lot of coddling homosexuals and stuff like that. We trying to save our race, so we want to see all the strong brothers and sisters and people that want to help our people out there this weekend. It's gonna be fantastic.
Yep, definitely looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to all of the brothers and sisters, especially you, Steady. Griff, of course, there's going to be some entertainment, as well as Baba Baruti is definitely going down this Saturday in Tampa, Florida. So you definitely want to get your tickets ahead of time. And if not, we will see you there on Saturday.
Right. All right, Irritated Genie. Hopefully you can come back on Thursday. We can get deep into this subject, dive into your book, into some other things, all right?
Yes.
Let's do it.
All right, good brother. Peace.
All right, peace.
All right, y'all take it.
All right.
What a pleasant surprise.
Pleasant surprise from our good brother. So, Mr. ZaZa Ali.
Yes, sir.
As how we're going to end this with the last 30 seconds. You got a quote?
Do I have a quote? I did have a quote, but I am surrounded by stuff.
I think I have a quote for the 15 seconds we have left. It's an Ashanti proverb. It says you must act as if to fail. This is Professor Griff and ZaZa Ali on NMEMINDZ Radio. We love you all to life. Peace.
Peace.